G'day guys, another day, another example of a modern Hollywood studio taking away from the fans. Or, more specifically in this case, flat out refusing to give fans what they want, even though it wasn't going to cost them any effort. In case you missed it, over the last 2 years, Chronauticon and a couple of his mates have been developing a Jurassic Park fan game. The footage I'm using in this video comes directly from the development of that game, built in the PlayStation Dreams application. As you can see, the level of attention to detail and care that's gone into this project is massive. And to say that I was excited for this project is a colossal understatement. Of course, I am massively biased, as Jurassic Park is one of my favourite movies of all time, but judging by the comments, it seems I wasn't the only one super excited for this fan project. It seems like Chronauticon and his team had hit onto a massive gap in the market. There's been a number of Jurassic Park themed video games over the years, however most of them appear to be a different iteration of the park builder. Or your classic side-scrolling adventure, which is fine if you're a fan of the park-building sim genre, and the humble side-scroller. Personally, of all the park builders that have come and gone, I think it peaked with Jurassic Park Operations Genesis. Not saying Jurassic World Evolutions 1 and 2 aren't good games, in fact I played the absolute shit out of them. The Lost World PlayStation game was certainly plenty of fun in its time, and to this day Jurassic Park 2 The Chaos Continues on the Super Nintendo absolutely slaps. But they do not scratch the itch of the Jurassic Park story-driven game that many fans have been screaming for since the first film came out in 1993. Possibly one of the reasons why Dino Crisis and Dino Crisis 2 were the successes that they were, because they scratched that very specific Jurassic itch that some people had.
This is just like that movie.
It certainly helped that Capcom seemed hyper-aware of this, including a little nod in the sequel. But unlike Capcom, Universal Studios has squandered the game rights to this franchise from day one, never truly delivering that Jurassic Park game experience that fans have been wanting since day one. So in the absence of Universal Studios doing anything on this creative front, Chronauticon and his team stepped up to the plate, announcing their game in March of 21 by way of teaser trailer. In the months following the teaser trailer, a number of test videos were released, highlighting the level of attention to detail that the Chronauticon team were putting into their project. Not only that, but a number of original soundtrack pieces were also released for their upcoming project. Then, on the 30th of May 2022, another teaser trailer was released. With the team gaining traction on YouTube, they were quick to identify that this was a fan-made game and not officially licensed by Universal. More test footage and soundtrack pieces followed before, in November of 2022, the team released a Jurassic Park Operations reveal trailer. This game looked like everything Jurassic Park fans had been waiting for. Not only had Jurassic Park been painstakingly recreated to be indistinguishable from the film, the team also included a number of Universal ride attractions, including the famous Jurassic Park River adventure. With a demo well and truly on the way to release, things were looking good for Jurassic Park Operations.
Really spectacular, spared no expense.
Although even as early as 2022, Chronauticon and his team did seem hyper-aware that they may run into copyright issues with Universal.
A lot of people have asked what we're going to do if Universal gets involved and asks us to stop making the game. This is worst case scenario, but if this did happen, we would take all of the assets and locations we've made and create short films and animations with them. Either that, or we would have to start removing any mentions of Jurassic Park from the game. Again, this is worst case scenario and hopefully won't be something we have to worry about since we're not making any money off of people playing the game.
Universal Studios can be particularly brutal when it comes to copyright, particularly on YouTube. Even the humble working jellyfish has experienced this when using Johnny Williams' iconic music. Despite that, Chronauticon and his team pressed on with their passion project, noting that they weren't going to be profiteering from the project, insisting that they were making the game with the best intentions as a love letter to the franchise and the fans.
The best intentions. Some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions.
But no good deed goes unpunished, and on the 25th of March 23,
Well, about a month ago, I checked my email and saw the thing I was dreading ever since we first shut off the game, a letter from Universal. Before I continue, I want to make it clear the only reason I'm making this video is to update people on the state of our game and why things will be changing. I'm not going to show the letters, but I will summarize the key points they made. But before I do, I just want to say that they were very nice with how they approached me, and I would ask that no one go harassing or attacking Universal over this. They made this decision strictly to protect their intellectual property, and the ones asking us to remove it from our game are only doing their job.
Sounding like he had a gun pointed at his head, Chronauticon detailed why Universal had asked them to cease and desist with their game. I'll link the video below so that I don't put words in the man's mouth. However, the long and short of it is that the game looked too good and too accurate to the films, therefore Universal was concerned that people might confuse this game as an official release. Noting that Universal has no control over this creative endeavour, they were concerned that it could hurt their franchise. But how could something that looks so beautiful and accurate hurt their franchise? Well, according to Universal, it could hurt the vision of future filmmakers and affect how fans are experiencing their intellectual property. Right, because the content they're pushing out at the moment is fantastic stuff.
I've fallen for you. Like, hard. Real hard.
I know. I heard you earlier. I just wanted to hear you say it again because I've been wanting to hear you say that since I don't even know when.
So, Jurassic Park Operations dies a death by copyright and will now only be released in a vanilla demo that has all the iconography of the intellectual property removed. I want Jurassic Park. We have Jurassic Park at home.
That is one big pile of shit.
My heart breaks for Chronauticon and his team. This is an absolute travesty of the copyright system. Yeah, fair enough, it wasn't licensed by Universal, despite Chronauticon actually throwing that Hail Mary pass.
Decided to just throw it out there and ask if we could officially license the game. But, as expected, they responded saying they weren't interested.
But at the end of the day, it was just a fan game that was a passionate love letter to the franchise that they weren't going to profiteer from. And on a very selfish level, I wanted to play that bloody game. Given that the closest thing that the official licensees have delivered was the Jurassic Park Telltale game.
Forget it. There's nothing you can do anyway.
Are you sure? Tell me what's happening.
Signing off.
This seemed like an absolute slam dunk for Universal. Just agree to license the game and let these guys do all the work for you. Don't fight the fandom. The fandom's there to make you money. But alas, the corporate executives at Universal have killed another creative vision.
InGen is my responsibility now, Doctor, and I will jealously defend its interests.
That said, there's always a silver lining, and Chronauticon and his team have stated that they've learned a lot about the Dreams application in making this game. As a result, they plan to finish the demo in a somewhat sanitized version, but then take their talents onto a new creative project in the future. I would encourage all that wanted to play this game to get behind this team because they are producing great stuff, and undoubtedly their original project that they put forward next is going to be something very special. If you want to show your support for this talented team, jump on over to their channel, give them a like and a comment, and if you're so inclined, maybe share the Jurassic Park Operations trailer around to show Universal that fans actually want this, and let them know just what they're missing out on. As for me, I guess I'll just wait bitterly for Universal to put out another lackluster, fully licensed Jurassic Park game that's probably going to be a top-down park builder, as well as perpetually waiting for the sequel to Dino Crisis 2 to finally reveal what happened in that bloody cliffhanger.
Don't forget, you still owe me one.
Well then, you better get back quick.
Come on, Capcom, I bloody love your remakes of the Resident Evil franchise, but just give us the sequel to Dino Crisis 2 that's not dinosaurs in space! Anyway, I just felt like sharing this news with you guys because I was really excited for this project, and to learn that it's died a death is really upsetting.
We're out of a job.
Don't you mean extinct?
I apologise that it's been so long since my last video, again. But unfortunately, 2 cyclones hit Vanuatu, and the good neighbourly thing to do was to offer my support as best I could.
Everybody needs good neighbors.
But rest assured, my loyal friend, other projects are being developed in the background, they're just not getting the time that they deserve right now. But remember, I'm just a brainless lump who hates the fact that corporate greed gets in the way of creativity.
And if we could only step aside and trust in nature, life will find a way.
Hooray.